In the humid, shimmering heart of the Southeast Asian rainforests, where sunlight filters through the canopy like liquid gold, lives one of the planet's most enigmatic and fascinating creatures, the orchid mantis, Hymenopus coronatus, a being that, well, blurs the boundaries between animal and flower, between predator and artwork. It is the perfect embodiment of one of nature's most refined evolutionary strategies, morphological mimicry, taken to its ultimate perfection. The origin of the orchid mantis dates back millions of years, to an era when the tropical forests of Malaysia, Sumatra, Borneo, Thailand, and Indonesia flourished in lush diversity. These environments, dense with moisture and life, provided the ideal stage for the natural selection of a species that survived not through strength or speed, but through illusion. Over countless generations, subtle anatomical mutations accumulated, sculpting a form of camouflage so flawless it could deceive even the human eye. The orchid mantis does not imitate any single flower, but, captures the very essence of tropical orchids, their symmetry, texture, and delicate coloration. In her, nature has united aesthetics and survival into a masterpiece of biological engineering. Hymenopus coronatus is actually a relatively small insect, usually averaging between 4 and 6 centimeters. There's striking sexual dimorphism between males and females. The female, who is larger and more robust, displays shades that range from pearly white to soft pink. Tones that, shift subtly with the ambient light and surrounding vegetation. Her body is honestly a marvel of evolutionary adaptation. The front legs, which are broad and lobed, perfectly mimic orchid petals. The thorax and abdomen are covered in chitinous structures that reflect light, giving her this silky, iridescent sheen. The compound eyes, which are large and mobile, provide near panoramic vision, absolutely essential for detecting even the faintest movement of potential prey. But her most extraordinary trait is definitely her dynamic color modulation. She can slightly alter her hue to blend more precisely with her floral surroundings. This makes her a true master of ecological disguise, nearly invisible even to sharp-eyed birds and reptiles. Beneath her delicate, ethereal beauty lies a deadly predator. Her hunting strategy is built on patience and precision, an art of stillness comparable to that of great feline hunters, condensed into the miniature world of insects. The mantis can remain motionless for hours, perfectly posed like a flower in full bloom. When a butterfly, bee, or fly approaches, drawn by what appears to be nectar, she strikes. In less than 1/20th of a second, her front legs snap shut like a spring-loaded trap. The prey never has a chance. This predatory illusion represents one of the most refined examples of aggressive mimicry known to science. The orchid mantis doesn't just hide among flowers. She becomes the flower, using beauty as a weapon and trust as bait. The reproductive behavior of the orchid mantis is as mesmerizing as it is brutal. During mating season, the female releases pheromones that attract males from afar. Yet for the male, this approach carries grave risk, for in the very act of reproduction, he may become food for his mate. This phenomenon, known as sexual cannibalism, provides the female with crucial nutrients for the development of her eggs. The eggs are laid in a protective capsule called an ootheca, a foamy structure that hardens upon exposure to air. Weeks later, tiny nymphs emerge, perfect miniature versions of the adults. From their first moments, they begin to hunt, to mimic, to deceive, continuing the ancient cycle of illusion and survival. Within its tropical ecosystem, the orchid mantis plays a vital role in balancing insect populations, subtly regulating the equilibrium between predator and prey. Yet its significance transcends ecology. It stands as a living metaphor for evolutionary genius. Its mimicry is not merely a survival mechanism, but a profound example of biological aesthetics, where function and beauty converge. Through the orchid mantis, nature reveals that the boundary between art and adaptation is astonishingly thin. Every curve, every hue, every shimmer is honestly a silent act of communication in the visual language of life itself. In a world where life adapts, reinvents, and persists at any cost, the orchid mantis, well, remains one of nature's most poetic paradoxes. It is beauty that deceives, grace that kills, perfection that conceals ferocity. Every movement, every flutter of wings from an unsuspecting prey tells the same timeless story. That in nature, appearance is never a lie, but survival disguised as elegance. And so, among the flowers and filtered light of the rainforest, the orchid mantis continues her eternal performance, a silent actress in the grand theatre of evolution, a symbol of life itself, breathtaking, deceptive, and irresistibly real.